Blue Spring State Park, we're back. So we paid our fee to come in. It's $4 solo, $6 per car, and now we're gonna make the drive to the back of the park. Okay, so Blue Spring State Park, we've been here multiple times in the past on this channel. You can check out some of our older videos if you search for Blue Spring. You can go snorkeling here, you can go scuba diving here. This is a refuge for manatees when it gets cold outside, so you will find hundreds of manatees from the St. Johns River that will come in that you can watch from a distance safely, so you're not touching them or disturbing them in their habitat, as they move closer to the warm springs that stay constant at, I think it's 72 degrees or 68 or 72 degrees all year long. And Blue Spring Park, I always call it Springs for some reason, I add the S, but it's just one spring, makes sense, is located in Volusia County in Orange City, Florida. It is kind of late in the day for us to be heading out here. It's almost 4 o'clock Eastern time, but kind of a lazy Sunday, and we thought we'd just come and make a sweep, take some pictures, and shoot some video and see what we can find. So they've consistently added to this park over the years. This playground is relatively new. Benches and barbecue pits. And this open area here, you can see it's kind of like blocked off. That's where boats or canoes can actually go outside of the protected area. There's a manatee swimming in the river over there.
Check this out. There's one going straight from the board here.
So here's some information about manatees. Alligators as well, so this is one of the reasons why we have not returned here to do further snorkeling, is that Mary is deathly afraid of the alligators that are in the water. There was somebody this summer that was attacked and was killed by an alligator snorkeling in the area over here as well.
South Florida. Oh, South Florida.
I'm from Chicago originally.
Well, we love the land. They seem plentiful too, which is a great thing. A couple of males out there.
That bird is very unsure of that manatee.
So much better.
Yeah, the scales and the big scales.
Oh, it's trying to touch it.
This is the bummer about coming here late. These docks get to be very crowded. Check out all of these fish in the water.
No, I'll take you guys to a picture. No, not that good. I would. I don't like doing a picture.
They're all chilling because nobody's over here snorkeling or scubaing.
We've seen
Not so smart.
metal.
The views here are stunning, especially if you want to take pictures and you have patience. Morning time is usually the best because they are just overwhelmed with manatees. And there's a whole bunch of them over here.
Mommy, there's one over here. You got jokes. You know.
I have one of those clicker things.
There's a couple more over here just hiding.
I saw one way down here too. Let's go see it, Jeremiah.
One swimming away over there. One over here along with all these fish. In this park you basically have this whole long boardwalk that's newly refinished. So you can walk all the way up to the spring head. get different views. And if you come here when it's warm out, different areas to be able to get into the spring or this little river area. You have these outhouses and like showers over here, as well as this like snack bar, because there is camping in this park. They have cabins as well as places for you to either put an RV or trailer or pop-up tents. Here's the threesome up close.
There's a little baby. It looks like a little baby. That's a little baby one. Oh, really?
Now this little child seems to have been like left behind here by these guys. He's making his way back over to them. As they wait, they're very protective of their kids.
And he's got a fish hitching a ride behind him.
You ate that seaweed on your back, little manatee. Oh, I don't
Yeah, that's what have the picture taken.
There you go. Alright, so we are at the point where we're going to walk up to the spring head. Look at all of this natural Florida that's all around you. We get a lot of comments on the videos where people want to see things that are not theme park related and more local related. You can't really get more local or homegrown than looking at stuff like this.
What? Yep. Want to go down? Let's go down this part. Go down this part too.
So we are approaching the spring head here. This is basically it. This is the area that we wanted to film the segment yesterday with Jesse handing me the camcorder. I actually think the location that we ended up with came out better. There's actually not much happening at the spring here that I can see. Sometimes there's a bunch of manatees all crowded around it because that's where the warm water is coming from. I don't see that today though. I just see a bunch of garfish in there. So where the water is bubbling out there, where the spring water is coming from. The water is actually fairly low here right now because generally it's probably, I guess, like 20 feet or more deep here. Right now it looks like maybe 5 to 10 feet. So very low. Within the spring itself, there's a lot of videos online where people have dived into the spring unsuccessfully and have perished in this location as well. It's very tricky to navigate within the spring area. I think we're going to head back down towards the car. First, check out like all of the natural growth that's even along the tree. It's just amazing to see in person. A trip to Blue Spring is never complete without checking out the Thursby house. There's all these details behind this wonderful house that's still standing here outside of the park, or within the park rather. Here you go. Plus, I'm fairly certain it must be haunted. So we've had some really weird encounters in this house in the past. As you walk in, find out information about the Thursbys. Here from Brooklyn, New York, just like Mary. Block some of the sun here for you. Pioneers on the riverbank. Here's a record of all of the births and the deaths associated with this area. Old school blocks. And this is new since the last time we were here. They added a penny press, so you can get it with either a manatee, an alligator, a scuba diver, or a bear. We were here one day and something fell decisively. You could hear it in the other room fall. Went to the other room and nothing inside of it. And the house opens up to this wonderful kind of courtyard or front yard of the house. Lots of kids usually play here. Frisbees, throw the ball around a little bit, and you have picnic tables over here to eat as well. There's a nature trail walking path here as well, kind of all going in the woods. Pine Island hiking trail. Like the sign says, it's not a loop. So what that means is when you go in, you got to come back out. But one thing you got to worry about, bears. And there actually is a lot of bears in this area. But if you take this trail from beginning to end, it's 4.5 miles all the way in, and then you got to walk that back. And it is a pretty fantastic walk. We've done this entire trail at one point. Very Blair Witch-like. So the creepy thing is that you always hear things moving around within the trees and in the forest. You're never really quite sure what exactly it is. Except for the helicopter or plane up there, of course. And this is where the trail becomes really crazy, right? So you get to like an area like this. That's the trail. You look over here, almost like it would be the trail too, but you're really just going into the forest. So on that note, with it rapidly approaching 5 o'clock and sundown shortly after that, I'm not going much further. But this is a really great place to come when there's a lot of daylight in front of you. Check out this one branch or vine type thing that's just coming up out of the ground onto that tree. That's pretty nuts. It goes all the way over there, wraps around into that tree, back up. Alright, I am back home. Once again, Blue Springs State Park. $4 for one-person vehicles, $6 for a car full of folks. It's open every day from basically like, I think it might be 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning until sundown. So sundown is when the park closes unless you are staying there on-site camping. While I was in the park today, I noticed that there was an abundance of park rangers and sheriffs and, cops over in that area. So it is a safe area. But beautiful stuff, natural surroundings, awesome manatees. And the colder it gets, the more manatees there are. So this morning when they did their count, there was 277 manatees on site. We saw probably maybe like 50 or 60 of them in the water while we were there. On that note, we're going to call it quits for today. So thank you for all of your likes. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your subscriptions. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Have a great night. We'll see you guys.